Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of Tech Times Daily. I'll be your host for today, Christian Tejares, and with me is my co-host, Christopher the Nonstopper, the king of the ring of conversations and jovial banter. If charisma could be bottled, he'd be the manufacturer, the great Christopher Short.
Well,
How are you,
thank you.
Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for the introduction, man. It's always a pleasure.
So, how was your day?
My day's good, man. Covered a lot of news. Um, yeah, just another day on the grind.
Yeah, so yesterday's episode was actually pretty nice. So we got a good
Yeah,
response from it. So thank you very much to those that actually watched or listened, those that actually commented. Thank you for actually joining the discussion. But
yeah.
sadly,
Even the
today we're
guys that
gonna
just
go.
give us a click, right?
Yeah,
Even the guys that just give us a click.
yeah. So before we start, I would like to remind everyone. So please comment, like, subscribe, join the conversation. We greatly appreciate any interaction. So
Yeah.
sadly, we're gonna have to go back to AI once again.
Yep.
So well, it's a trend of the year, I think, or pretty much this decade. So today's topic comes to us from a Tech Times writer, Ino Flores, and his article is titled "NYC Faces Backlash Over AI Chatbots Misleading Guidance for Small Businesses." New York City's AI chatbot has stirred controversy by providing erroneous responses to inquiries, inaccurately suggesting that employers have the right to terminate employees who report sexual harassment, conceal pregnancies, or refuse to alter their hairstyle. Despite criticism and concerns about the accuracy of its responses, the city has decided to keep the chatbot operational on its website. Mayor Eric Adams defended this choice, acknowledging the inaccuracies in some areas while maintaining the tool's availability. Launched as a resource hub for business owners in October, the chatbot offers algorithmically generated responses to queries navigating the city's bureaucratic processes. So, Chris, we discussed yesterday the possibility of this being used for administrative purposes only.
Yep.
But if this is the standard that they have, do you think it's
I, had you asked me yesterday what type of errors AI might make administratively, I would have never considered this. This is crazy.
it
Like
made
what?
me think like they just had Andrew Tate on the phone, like they're just asking questions and he's just
Yeah.
answering.
Yeah,
Like
like is it basing its responses solely off his Twitter feed? Because
like
AI just uses the information on the internet. Like that's all it does. So what corner of the internet is AI hanging out in if this is the type of uh advice that it's giving you? You know what I
it is
mean? Like where
funny, but
where does this information come from? This
it is
shouldn't be this shouldn't
funny.
be anywhere on the internet. This is not true.
Yeah, and this is the government. I know everything is handled
And
by state, but in an age where people's inquiries are actually riddled in nuances, particularly for the bureaucratic processes of a city, they shouldn't be using this for this purposes. Like,
I mean, this is bananas even for New York. We know New York is you know, kind of a world of its own. But I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? Like AI is basically a plagiarism tool, right? It just takes something, it takes knowledge and information that's already there, and it manipulates it to make it seem original. Um, where's it getting this information from?
I think it's learning from the humans that humans actually make mistakes. So,
Yeah, I think it's watching South Park or something. I don't know what it's doing.
one thing I find weird about this the statement regarding this, like they're allowing it because they understand that it's growing. I i liken this to new cars being developed under safety features, the
Mhm.
use of crash test dummies. Like, people are not crash test dummies for you to test on. Like, these are people's lives, so this should have been ironed out even before the rollout. Like, imagine if it's a query is actually something that's considered life or death, and it gives out bad advice.
Right, right. This could also be you know how when people ask us stupid questions, we give stupid answers.
Somehow
You know what I
they
mean?
actually program sarcasm first before actual facts.
I mean, I don't know that it's programmed, right? It's generative learning, so it learns as it goes and it picks up on sarcasm and things like that. Obviously, it's not good at it, but what if, like, if you search, can I fire someone if they report sexual assault? That's a dumbass question because everybody should know, no, you cannot. Secondly, AI could be like, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, who cares what that guy has? And even here where it says it was asked um if you can serve cheese in a restaurant that a rodent had been eating, had been chewing on. And it said, yeah, you can serve cheese to customers despite the rodent bites.
Yeah.
But it did emphasize the importance of evaluating the extent of damage caused by the rodent and informing customers about the situation.
Yeah, the US's healthcare package has Ebola in it, right? So time to test it out.
I mean, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a stupid question. So did it give a stupid answer to a stupid question?
Like of all the luck that New York is gonna have, they actually bought an AI that's completely a prick. So
Yeah. Well, it's a very New York AI, I think. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, can
maybe
I
I think it
can I
feels
fire
normal.
somebody, can I fire somebody for refusing to change their haircut?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Of
Like,
course. Get them out of here.
yeah,
You know.
I was suddenly questioning my statement yesterday regarding using it for administrative purposes. The ones that are actually installing it are dumbasses.
So
There's no getting away from this, from the AI stuff, but at least do it right.
right. And so what do you think about Mayor Adams' commitment to using AI? Like, couldn't you just pause it or something for a minute or two?
If the city actually injected money on it, I might think that it's some sort of sunk cost fallacy shit. Like they've already committed to this. Like if it's still learning, but how soon can we receive the accuracy that is actually needed before someone else gets hurt from it? Like we've had these issues before. Like I think in the US there were issues regarding taxes, right? Regarding
Yeah.
filing it. AI is actually answering questions. Air Canada actually had an issue regarding flight schedules or flight reservations with AI chatbot. Like we have a chatbot on our Facebook page, but it only answers basic questions. Like it is understood that if there are inquiries and no human is actually present, like these are the basic questions that we're gonna ask you, and these are the basic details that we actually need. Do you think there should be human intervention while this thing is actually learning?
Uh,
Like someone should still be monitoring the chatbot and the data logs?
well, I mean, I guess, but I mean, I don't, I mean, I don't know what that would do, right? Because once it gives the answer, it's too late, right? Either you use it or you don't, kind of. It's not going to help. Obviously, somebody should be going through like, and I guess they did. They discovered it somehow, whether it was outcry or via research or logs or something. I don't know. Um,
Should
but
they
I
be
mean,
first feeding AI either an ethics book or the Bible, I guess, to read?
do you think people, when I say people, I mean like everybody involved, cities and companies and individuals. Do you think we're too excited to use AI and it's just not ready?
In a sense, I guess it's not. about excitement about using it. People are, I think, are more attracted to possibilities rather than at this point
Actuality.
excitement, and I think in a sense ambition. Like if you dream in your life that you want to create a novel, like there are basically hindrances to you, but with AI you could possibly be one without necessarily grinding, being guest posters in some publications, or doing short stories. Like you could basically be a novelist now just because of AI. So
True.
I think that, yeah, excitement could be another factor, but then again, there's human ambition that's actually driving this. So people see the potential that wasn't actually there before, and usually rushing into things doesn't actually lead to anything good. So I think that's what we're feeling right now with AI, because it's still, although it's been a few years now, it takes a few years for technology to actually reach its peak.
Right.
We're basically just scratching the surface when it comes to these, because we've seen AI used in movies and how it's being done. And I pretty much can say that the majority of those that we've seen in movies aren't still being done today. So
Right.
if movies are actually an indication of the future, we're still not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're jumping the gun a little now that like all these things keep happening. Or, to play the devil's advocate and kind of argue with myself. Or it could be that the negative aspects of AI are what drive the news, right? Like we expect it to do good things, right? So nobody's reporting that AI helped, you know, some college kid write a thesis, right? That's not news. Nobody cares. But when it does something like this, then we care. And now it seems like everything we hear or see about AI is like, oh, it's this and it did this and it did this and it did this. So these things are being amplified and
Yeah, but then again,
AI is
when it comes to
kind of it's
AI,
kind of unfair to the AI.
when it comes to AI, should we always put an advisory for people not to turn off their common sense when using it?
Bro, that's the thing. I mean, that's the problem with the whole world is just, I mean, you're expecting AI to do the thinking for you. You don't even think for yourself. You know what I mean? Like improve your, you know, like things are crazy. Like you want if you're asking these questions, and I guess this was just a sample. I don't think these were real life questions, right? There's no way.
I
There's
guess
no
some of
way.
them were. I guess some of them were.
Well, you know, you get what you deserve in most cases.
Like a majority of people asking whether you can fire someone for if they report for sexual harassment should actually check themselves into their local precinct. By the way, because that screams intent.
Like,
And it actually happened. Like, would you suddenly say that, oh, it was just preventative, that's why I'm asking an AI for this? Like, no, you did it. You're not asking just to know.
right.
That- That's why I understand why you think this is just a joke, right? Who would be that
Yeah,
dumb?
it's insane.
Like
It's
I can
crazy. It's
understand
crazy.
you, people don't
Go ahead.
even eat food off the floor. Like, why even ask if you can eat something off of an animal's mouth? That's why I said,
Yeah, I
should
mean,
we be putting advisories on AI regarding people not turning off their brain when they're actually using it? Like, you still need to use your brain when actually using AI. That's the thing. You're gonna be instructing it, and you're gonna be judging
right.
whether the answer is correct or not. Completely trusting a machine is the dumbest thing you could actually do.
Well, actually, to your point, on ChatGPT, when you go, it's got a disclaimer. It says ChatGPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information. So there's already a disclaimer that, hey, we're not
Yeah.
perfect. Which I do think I do think a lot of this is a case of, like I said, like it's just getting the negative side of AI gets amplified. Like it does a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, it does. It makes things a bit more easier for some, right?
Yeah,
And I think in the future we might use AI for actually operating limbs from people who,
I can't wait for that.
right?
I did an interview. Um, oh God, I'm so terrible with names uh, and products apparently. I think it was the last one we did with the glasses. What are they
Vosix.
called?
Vosix,
Yeah,
the interview will
Misleading.
be coming up this week with
Okay,
long.
perfect. Yeah, so there's some. It's a very 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 interesting discussion I had uh with that gentleman. You remember his name? I'm so terrible with names. I could look it up, but I really don't want to.
Yeah, well, we'll be
Um,
placing a link along with this video after
yeah,
the interview has been published.
but their glasses are basically the heads up display that we've all wanted since video games began. Everybody wants, this, and that's it's really what it is. They do real-time translations with like subtitles. Um, they're incredible, but there's also potential for these to be used in surgery,
Hmm.
right? Now yeah, because like you can, it's kind of like AR, right? It kind of shows you it's like an assistant. Now you pair this with AI once it becomes, the most perfect form of itself. And that's going to be incredible for things like operating room fatalities and things like that. Like they're going to drop complications from surgery. Like
I
it's
think
great for
not
humanity.
just in the medical field. I think in the construction business, I think you could probably wear
Alone.
this, measure the distances between beams, or constructing buildings,
Yep.
things that
Pull up,
usually take
pull up,
schematics.
pull up OEMs. Yeah. Operator manuals. You can just and have it instead of flipping through a
Yeah.
book. It's just right here. Yeah. But guys, yeah, check out that interview when it drops. It's a good one. And those things are cheap. Like not cheap, like in quality wise, but it's only I think I don't want to.
Can
I
we
think he
announce a
said like
price here yet, or
he told me during the interview.
or should we wait for the interview to drop?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
check
you
out
guys will
the
be
interview.
surprised. You'll be surprised. And they have a shitload of products too. They got a bunch of stuff. And they're
Yeah,
really
thank
nice.
you.
Like it just looks like a regular pair of glasses.
Yeah, thank you to our friends at Vosix for actually spending time with us to introduce their products.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. That was a really cool conversation.
Yeah,
But we're way off topic.
my final take on this is like just don't turn your brains off when it comes to using AI. Like I can understand that the government actually has to bear a bit of responsibility when it comes to the misinformation. But then again, it's not entirely implausible for everyone to actually check things online to double check information. So that's basically it. Just be vigilant. This is a tool, not that you don't want it to run your life.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is a tool, not a cure-all for everything. You know,
Yeah.
you can't use it for everything. It's just that you just can't.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for joining us again in a great episode of Tech Times Daily. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And once again, on behalf of my co-host, Chris Short, uh, we'll see you in the next.